Welcome to the live stream, everyone. Let's get everything set up here. Let's go look at the crypto fear and greed index, and then we're gonna get started. And there's a new app I do want to look at. Right now, the crypto fear and greed index is sitting at 65. We are still in greed. So again, nothing to write home about unless we're around 10 or 90. We're in the middle, so I don't really care. So there's this new app. It's called Kalshi. And I'm not paid to promote it or anything. I just thought it was really interesting. You can bet where the crypto price is going to be in an hour or by the end of the day or by the end of the year. It's kind of cool. I just thought I would share it. You can do other things on here as well, like bet on, sports games, whatever else you want to bet on. You can bet on politics. It's really cool. And I think there was a similar thing to this, but for the longest time, if you were in the USA, you would not have been able to use it. So I just thought that was a little interesting. Right now, I don't have a lot of money in here. I'm just kind of testing it out. $114 in here right now. So my past history, I bet on the Bitcoin price. I don't think it's settled yet. But I bet on the Bitcoin price at 11 a.m. or maybe it was 12 p.m. EDT. Maybe it hasn't happened yet. So let me just click on this really quickly. But I just thought it was kind of cool. You can bet on where the price is going to be in an hour or less than an hour. And it says that not quite sure what's happening. I'll have to look at this later, but I don't know if I won or lost this bet. I can't really tell. But either way, it's pretty cool. You can bet on a lot of different things. You can bet on Ethereum. You can bet on Dogecoin. There's a few other. Here, I'll go to cryptos and I'll show you what you can bet on. I'm not saying you should do this, but I just thought it was interesting. Like, how high will Bitcoin get this year? When will Bitcoin hit 150,000? Coinbase volume, which I don't care about. How high will Ethereum get this year? Will Trump create a national Bitcoin reserve? Dogecoin price at 4 p.m. Central Time. How low will Bitcoin get this year? Which I don't think it's going to 60,000. Will Ethereum be flipped this year? Probably not. Dogecoin price today at 4 p.m. Which cryptocurrencies have positive returns this year? I would say probably XRP over Ethereum. Which cryptocurrencies will? Okay. Will Tether depeg this year? I would probably say no. Will Bitcoin be legalized in China this year? Probably no. It's kind of cool. Either way, if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know. I'm going to restart my TikTok stream because for some reason it says that I have a restriction when I don't know what's going on. I don't know if someone reported me. So I'll restart that. And then we'll get started. Let's try this again on TikTok, okay? I don't know what's happening with TikTok. It's being weird. We're going to get into the actual price of Bitcoin. So the last one I lost $1 on. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go over to this crypto thing. I'm going to go over to Bitcoin. And we're going to go to hourly. So we can bet on the price hourly, and also we'll see if I'm right. So you can do Ethereum, you can do Bitcoin. What will Bitcoin be at 1 p.m.? That's in 1 hour from right now. It's EDT, so it's technically 1 hour ahead. I think that's New York time. Wow, TikTok is really screwing me over. I don't know what's happening. It's saying that there's nudity in my live stream, which is obviously doesn't make any sense. So right now, I think that Bitcoin, right now the Bitcoin price is $107,250. And I think it's going to be, let's look at the chart a little bit and see what's going on. I don't know. We're just going to take a guess and say that it's going to be between $107,000 and $107,250 in 1 hour from right now. Yes, we're going to place just only $3 on this. We'll see if I'm right or not. Submit. And they says we have a 26% chance to get this right. So let's see if I'm right or not. So yeah, we'll see if I'm right or not. Bitcoin has to be at 1 p.m. Central Time between 107,000 and 107,250 and 107,499. So we'll see if I'm right or not. And right now, this price is like $100 higher than the trading view one, which is interesting. But let's get into the charts a little bit and see what's going on. I also think we should look at Bookmap to see where there's liquidity. So on Bookmap right now, we still have a lot of liquidity at 109,000 on the daily time frame. Over here on the weekly, we have a lot at 115. I actually see a measure move on Bitcoin up to about 116, 117. So let's get into that right now. So Bitcoin had this falling wedge, and at the end of the day, it looks like it's going to continue higher. How's it going, Blake? So it looks like it's going to continue higher, but here's what worries me a little bit is that the fact that the daily time frame it looks like the daily time frame is getting overextended on the stock RSI, so that's not a great sign. Let me just check the sound on my stream really quickly, and I also need to. I also posted a bunch of videos just to YouTube just now, so go check that out as well if you would like to. I just want to make sure the sound is working. So anyways, the sound looks to be good. That's a good thing. Where was I? Yeah. So we're looking at Bookmap. So let's go over and look at this. So on the daily time frame, we can see that we're a little bit extended. That's not a great sign. And then if we jump down to the 12-hour, we're also extended there. But then you look like the 8-hour time frame, that's still pretty extended. The 6-hour time frame is getting closer to being oversold, but what really looks good to me was that 4-hour. You're in this little flag on the 4-hour time frame with your measure move being approximately $117,000. That, of course, would be new all-time highs for Bitcoin. So really, the conservative measure move would be 116,000. We'll see what happens. The old all-time high was just above 100 or just below 112,000. So again, I could see this possibly breaking out sometime in July, if not later this month, but probably sometime in July. This month is almost over. Come Tuesday is a new month. So I think sometime in July we could hit that measure move. I would be surprised if end of July we don't at least hit 116,000. So what do you guys think in the comments? Do you think that's going to happen? I see it happening. I see it being likely to happen at some point in the month of July. So that 4-hour time frame looks good for a long. I actually also took a bet over here that said at 5 p.m. Central Time. Let me look at my portfolio. At 5 p.m. Central Time, Bitcoin will be above. Let me just click on this really quickly. It will be above 107,500. See, I said yes, above 107,500. I made that bet last night. I still think it could play out. It's getting a little sketchy because right now we're only at 107.3, but we'll see what happens. We're only $150 away according to this platform, but that's the bet I took. So I think I could still be right. Earlier today, like an hour ago, I think we did hit 107.5 for a very brief second. So we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, that's another one I have for the longer term. So jumping down to the 1-hour time frame for Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin on the 1-hour time frame looks like you're trying to get that bounce. It doesn't look beautiful. There's not much volume in the markets right now. So that's part of the problem. There's not a lot of volume in the markets. I still think we can get a few $100 movements here and there, but the volume sucks right now. Like, the 5-minute time frame looks like it's about to break out. I'm going to call it right now. The 5-minute time frame looks like it's about to break out. And because of this, I don't know, man. Maybe I don't win the 1-hour bet. But it looks like this is about to rip to the upside. And it looks like, really, it looks to me like we're about to hit 107.5, 107,600 sometime in the next hour. And now it kind of ruined my bet that I have going. But either way, this looks likely to play out. Let me go down to the 3-minute time frame. 3-minute also looks good for a move back to the upside. So I see at least on the smaller time frames, I see a small bounce coming to the upside for Bitcoin. And it looks like you have a double bottom there as well. So we'll see what happens. But to me right now, it looks most likely that you get another move back to 107.5. And that would be good for my longer term bet for that 4 p.m. time. So in less than 4 hours, I need Bitcoin to be above and stay above 107.5. As long as Bitcoin is even a penny above 107,500, I'll win that bet. So we'll see what happens, but that is kind of, I put $50 on that, nothing crazy, but that's what I did. I see Bitcoin getting a small rally this afternoon back to the upside for your Saturday afternoon. So if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll look at them. But that's kind of what we got going on. How's it going? How's it going, Kush T? Jasmine, man, what's she saying, please? I just made a video on Jasmine on my YouTube channel, but I will look at it again right now. So let's go over to Jasmine. Appreciate the likes on YouTube as well. So, all right, let's look at Jasmine. Jasmine is below the daily time frame 200. That's not a great sign. Jumping down to the 8-hour. 8-hour doesn't look fantastic either. Below the 200. Even on the 4-hour time frame, you're below the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame, and you're making a lower high. So that's not a great sign. You are below resistance at 1.5 cents. You have a little bit of support. I wouldn't even say that's very strong support. I think the strongest support is down there at 1.2 cents. You have a local low at 1 penny exactly. That's also going to be psychological support. So I would say, really, if you stay below 1.5 cents in time, we could likely see 1.2 cents. The 3-hour time frame is trying to cross back above the 200-day moving average. The 2-hour is above it. So really, I think we do see a small rally on Jasmine maybe later today, up to about 1.4 cents because the 2-hour is above the 200. The 3-hour is about to cross it. The 4-hour would be really the next target, at least using moving averages. So I think at some point later today, we do see 1.4 cents. That's not that big of a move from where we are right now. We're currently at 1.3. So we'll see what happens. I see 1.4 coming, but then the question is what happens from there. For the rest of the day, I would call a move to 1.4 cents. And then we can go from there, I suppose. The 1-hour time frame is above the 200-day moving average. That's a good sign. That is a higher low, technically speaking, on the 1-hour time frame, but to me, it doesn't look beautiful. I don't think there's any clear direction of where it's going. I love to trade the 4-hour 200-day moving average, and ever since you lost about 1.7, it told you to short, or at least be out of a long, and if you've done that so far, you'd still be good. Technically, if I was using that strategy, which I do quite often, I would be in a short with my stop loss at 1.4. So we could see 1.4 cents. Do we break it? That's the real question. Can we break the 4-hour 200? That is a very strong level that people do target to sell or buy at. So I would be targeting that for the rest of the day. After that, you could target the 6-hour 200 if you can stay above the 4-hour 200. But really, the next target I see is 1.4 cents for the rest of today. If I zoom back out to the daily, the trend to me doesn't look fantastic. The trend on the daily is to the downside. You're below the 200. So to me, yeah, you could get back to 1.4 cents. But I still think overall in time, unless you cross back above the daily 200, it's likely that we just keep making lower highs and lower lows on the daily time frame. And then eventually, it seems like the most likely scenario would be you lose a penny unless we can stay above like the 4-hour 200 or the daily 200. So I would not be long right now on Jasmine, at least not on the macro time frames. But like short term later today, a move to 1.4 seems likely. After that, the higher time frames, if you zoom out to the daily, it still looks sketchy to me. And the fact that daily is making a lower high is not good. So I don't know what to say, man. It doesn't look good. Daily 2-day don't look good either. 3-day actually looks really good for long, but you're below the 200-day even on the 3-day. So I would actually just stay away from Jasmine. This is not financial advice. I would stay away from Jasmine because there's other coins out there that have a lot more clear direction of where they want to go. Like XCN has a lot more clear direction of where it wants to go. So this is an XCN. I want to look at AMP really quickly as well. So that's my update on Jasmine. I would say 1.4 seems possible later today, but overall the trend is definitely still down on the higher time frame. So I would not be long it, but that's just my opinion and my advice. And based on the charts, that's what I think. So we can go look at XCN. I'll show you XCN where it has more of a clear direction. At least I think it does. Like on the 4-hour time frame, that's a clear falling wedge. These break up 68% of the time. Yes, the 4-hour is slightly below the 200, but if you look at the 3-hour, you're above the 200. 3-hour has reset on the stock hour side. That's a higher low. I would much rather trade XCN over Jasmine because the direction is more clear. One, you have a falling wedge. That's bullish. You're above the 200, at least on the 3-hour. And you're making a higher low on the stock hour side. So to me, I would rather, if I was going to be in anything, I'd rather be in XCN. Now, if you're holding Jasmine long term, so be it. But if you're looking for a coin to trade, it would be XCN over Jasmine. It just would be. So hopefully that helps. You are very welcome, Kushti. So my other video I made on YouTube was very similar to what I just said. So at 2 p.m. Central Time, yeah. This is a little confusing to read on the left. I don't really like it. I don't think we're going to win this bet. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, that's fine. So if you guys have a request for other altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and we'll look at that. As long as I win the bet at 4 p.m. Central Time, the Bitcoin is above 107.5, that's the biggest bet of them all, and that'll pay me big if that happens. So that's the one I care about most, not the $3 bet I just made. So if I lose a $3 bet, I'll survive. Either way, I know I'm talking about that a lot, but I think it's pretty cool. You can bet on the money line of sports games and everything else. So I think it's way better than DraftKings. Like you can, I mean, it's just better. I like it better. So as far as Bitcoin goes, I'm looking for a move back to 107,600 probably is the next measure move in the next 60 minutes. I think we're going to be up there, or at least very close. We'll see. It might take its time because it's the weekend, but sometime in the next hour or two, I'm looking for a Bitcoin to at least be between 106 and 107 at some point. I think we're going to hit that level. So we'll see what happens. That's really my update. Hello, Jerry on TikTok. How's it going? So that's kind of what I see going on Bitcoin right now. Is a small move back to the upside. We can go look at Dogecoin because I know that Dogecoin you can also bet over here. So we can go look at Dogecoin. Let's go down and look at Dogecoin on the next 5 minutes. So really, if you're going to be betting within the next hour, the price is going to be I feel like you have to be looking at the 5-minute time frame or less. So Dogecoin on that 5-minute time frame is above the 200-day moving average. I mean, this is all just for fun, but Dogecoin is above the 5-minute 200. Let me look at the 4-minute. 4-minute looks 3-minute looks So let me go back to the 1 minute. This is probably the likely scenario is that you're just going to continue this downtrend a little bit longer and maybe break out at some point, but at the end of the day, you're at the top of the range right now. RSI is overbought. I personally would be expecting this to come back down to the bottom of the range. Now, where is it going to be in 45 minutes? That's hard to say. But I would presume that, unfortunately, that Dogecoin is going to be lower than higher. So I think in the next hour, we're lower than higher than where we are right now in Dogecoin. That was just for fun. Either way, so you can bet on Dogecoin over here. What else can you bet on? Let's go look at this again. So you can bet on Shiba, Dogecoin, or Ethereum. So those are the 4 cryptocurrencies that you can bet on. Right now we're sitting at 16.3. So I would say this doesn't seem like a bad bet. Taking it to be between 16 cents and 16.49 cents within the next 40 minutes. That doesn't seem like a bad bet. Just don't bet a lot on it. Bet like $10. And if you're right, how much do you win if you bet $10 on that? Only 13. That doesn't seem worth the risk, actually. Yeah, anyways, it's kind of cool, though. I like the idea of it. If you guys have requests for other altcoins, let me know and I'll look at them. But that's kind of what I see going on right now for Bitcoin, at least, is a small move back to the upside. Maybe I'm wrong. I really could be wrong, but that's just what I see going on. So with that being said, guys, that's kind of going to wrap up this live stream. I don't see any requests for altcoins, so I'm going to get out of here. TikTok screwing me over saying that I'm posting nudity on my live stream. That doesn't make any sense. But either way, I'll be back live Monday. Let me hold on a second. Bear with me, and I will tell you what time. So I plan to go live on Monday. Yes. So on Monday, I'll be live at 9 p.m. Central Time, back to our regularly scheduled live stream. And that's kind of my plan. 9 p.m. Central Time. We'll see what happens, but that is my plan. I'll see you guys on Monday. Until then, trade safe. Always use a stop loss. The trend is here for until the end. Right now, the trend on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin is to the upside. And I could see this playing out sometime in July and move back to 116. That's all I got. You guys have a great rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, and have a great rest of your Saturday. Adios. Rain is forecasted to you in Dubuque.